So with this project, there have been three key findings. Number one, there's a general lack of familiarity with the foreign trade zone program in the market. Two, there's a disconnect between the introduction of benefits and implementation with potential beneficiaries. And lastly, foreign trade zone number three has a critical expansion opportunity. The first key finding, a general lack of familiarity with the foreign trade zone program. This exists within the beneficiaries base, people that would benefit the most and who the program was designed for. This includes manufacturers, distributors, importers, exporters, third-party logistics companies, people that deal with import and export of materials. Within the port itself, there is lack of familiarity as well, even within the maritime department in which the foreign trade zone management is placed into. On top of this, the foreign trade zone management is rarely ever held exclusively by one person, or one person exclusively works in the foreign trade zone. This program is always delegated to someone who already has other responsibilities, either to a maritime marketing manager, like here at the port, or to someone already running a company who simply wants the land that will take the foreign trade zone name. There has rarely been someone or exists someone in the hundreds of foreign trade zone that does exclusive foreign trade zone works. Also, adding to the confusion of the program, foreign trade zone number three previously employed a operator for the foreign trade zone. So there was someone that was not involved with the port that remotely controlled it. That has since changed. This is all because the foreign trade zone, even though it's very dynamic and it's a great revision on a problem that we have within domestic manufacturing, which is competitiveness, because in the reality is that we can't compete with labor costs and other countries that simply do things more competitively than we do, and that in this case manufacturing certain items. So this is a very good way to combat that. But at the same time, it's a very esoteric and complex program with many exceptions and specific cases. But because of the lack of familiarity, we have found that outreach has been successful in terms of spreading information. The invitation to the conference that we had, the conference itself was very successful. We had a lot of positive reviews, and everyone that was invited, no doubt, researched the information and found it to be very interesting and found that they could potentially benefit from it. There's also been a recent overhaul of regulations. This is the first time since 1991. This overhaul occurred in May of 2012. So all these things add together to make a very cloudy image of what the foreign trade zone actually is. Second key finding, there is a disconnect between the beneficiaries and the grantee, which is us, the Port of San Francisco, the one that adds new users to the SF Bay Area. I'm sorry, San Francisco Bay Area, San Francisco County and San Mateo County. Some potential beneficiaries are aware of the program, but some of them are more familiar with the traditional site framework. The traditional site framework has always been around. More recently, there's been a new, even more dynamic program called the alternative site framework. This allows the grantee, in this case us, to give foreign trade zone benefits remotely. There needs to be no concentration of foreign trade zone activities, and any company can simply stay exactly where they are without moving their operations to the grantee. So the grantee they don't have to come to the port anymore to reap the benefits of being in a foreign trade zone. They can stay wherever they are, and as long as they're in the county, or if we want to, we can expand into their county and then add them, they can be part of the program. This makes it even more obscure and tends to lead to a lot more confusion, because those that are familiar with the foreign trade zone program are most likely familiar with the traditional site framework. Multiple explanations have always been required as well. Price could be the culprit, presentation of the information by the managers of the foreign trade zone and myself may also be the culprit, and the complexity of the program itself may lead to disinterest. The conference itself spanned several hours, and obviously the attention of many of our attendees cannot last that long, especially when there's so much information being presented to them. Marketing outreach requires continual inquiries. Initial interest is always there, with with anyone who've ever contacted, the ears perk up at the idea. Yet the representative that we speak to may not ultimately be responsible for signing on with the FTZ. If we're speaking to, let's say, a car manufacturer in the East Bay, the representative that we are speaking to may have to relay this information to a superior who will then okay and then allow the application process to go through. Because of the complexity and the vagueness of the program, it may be lost upon the superior and therefore we may not hear back from them. Therefore we have to contact them again in a tactful manner and then speak to whoever we need to get the ball rolling, so to speak. And also we have to realize that clients will shop around for other foreign trade zones. Within the Bay Area alone, there is foreign trade zone number 3, which is San Francisco. There's also Oakland, which is the biggest foreign trade zone in the area, and San Jose. The last key finding is that there's a critical opportunity for expansion. As I mentioned, foreign trade zone number 3 utilizes the ASF program, the Alternative Site Framework. We are the only ones in the Bay Area that do so. So if we were to expand our service area to the North Bay and parts of Contra Costa County, we could reap the benefits, and this could be very marketable that we have the Alternative Site Framework. The fact that we alleviate the cost of moving operations could be extremely marketable to potential clients. We can specialize and capture the benefits associated with the ASF for businesses in these areas. This can also create a snowball effect. If we were to contract a third-party logistics company in, let's say, Sonoma County, they would be able to transplant their benefits from the foreign trade zone to their clients. Therefore, they would have a better service provided. Therefore, any other third-party logistics or any other rival company in the area would also have to become part of the foreign trade zone to also have that competitive edge to give their clients the foreign trade zone benefits, therefore creating a snowball effect. We hope to accomplish this. Now, what are the practical implications of these key findings? Firstly, the FTZs can be extremely helpful to businesses in the area. Third-party logistics companies, freight forwarders, so on and so forth. The elimination, reduction, or deferral of tariffs until the product actually hits commerce it helps give a guarantee that the product will actually hit markets. It takes away the gamble that many of these companies take when importing all these products, hoping that they come in on time and hoping that they also hit the market. The second practical implication we found is that marketing is crucial. Refineries and car manufacturers all around the nation are all parts of foreign trade zones. They will never need to be taught, they will never need to be marketed to, because they all are set in stone. They have known the program for a very long time and they are fully aware of the benefits. But others will need close attention. We cannot expect clients to jump on the idea even if they can benefit. As I said before, there was a disconnect. One way to describe it would be a doctor telling his patient to stop eating junk food, fast food. The doctor knows that it is bad for the patient himself knows that it is bad to stop eating junk food, but still, when he leaves, he will still eat a slice of pizza as opposed to a plate of broccoli. It's also important to maintain a close relationship with both the FTZ board staff and the National Association of Foreign Trade Zones. They provide the best turnaround for questions that we will have from our clients that we need to confer with them in order to give the most accurate information. We also need to have this same level of closeness and the same level of commitment to our clients as well. We also need to repeat successful outreach strategies. The last practical implication is that we need to expand while we can. Service areas are up for grabs at the moment, and a client in the ASF FTZ service area now has a simple 30-day process to join as opposed to a 6-month traditional site process. So not only will they be able to stay where they are, along with a slew of other benefits, but they will now be able to join as quickly as possible. Lastly, I would like to thank Jim Maloney, the Maritime Marketing Manager, for allowing me to intern here, Roger Peters, an outside consultant who has been immensely helpful in the creation of this document, the FTZ board staff, and of course the Monterey Institute staff specifically Maha, Jeffrey, and Carolyn Meyer. I will attach this PowerPoint project to the Google Groups site, and thank you very much for watching the presentation.